Towson women's basketball stayed perfect in CAA play. We'll talk with head coach Diane Richardson on today's episode of the Tiger Basketball Report, presented by the Green Turtle. Hello again, fans, and welcome to today's episode of the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm your host, Ben Rosenbaum. Towson picked up 2 more conference wins to now be 4-0 in the CAA with wins over Northeastern and Hofstra. And as always, I'm joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Diane Richardson. And Coach, pretty good weekend.
Yeah, it was a pretty good weekend, despite the snow.
Yeah, exactly. So now 10-5 overall, 4-0 in the CAA. Last time Tigers went 4-0 in the CAA was started 4-0 was 2007, 2008. I said it to you, I think, after the Hofstra game. This team's doing a lot of special things right now, and they're sensing it, I think.
Yeah, we're playing together, and we knew that once we got that going on, it would be even better, for the coaches to coach.
Northeastern, that was a big game. That was like a heavyweight bout. Everyone giving it a lot of attention. They were undefeated when they came into CQ Arena. And how did the team approach it? What was the mindset? Were you trying to make it a big game? Were you just trying to keep it business as usual? How was their mindset?
No, we were taking one game at a time, and they knew that, and we planned for it. And as always, we planned for the game that's ahead of us, and that's it. So it wasn't made a big deal or anything like that.
It was a shootout. Scores in the 80s. Obviously, everybody knew Northeastern had the ability to score the ball. And leading into that game, your 2 CAA victories previous over Drexel and Delaware were in the mid-50s. So there were maybe some questions. Could Towson keep up with Northeastern? And you showed that we can win, low-scoring games. We can win high-scoring games. And that was just a great all-around team effort offensively. Kaya Mayo, outstanding, 30 points for her in that game. And it was just a good team win. Talk about Nakaya. Her 30 points, new career high for her.
Yeah, new career high, and she could feel it, and she knew she could pick her spots. They weren't defending her well, and she wasn't hesitant about making her shots, and at the end she gets a career high. And
everyone's talking about the career high. I think something that's lost. She had 5 blocks as well in that game. Defensively, the score doesn't necessarily show because of how high scoring it was, but the team really did a good job of shutting down the inside stuff for Northeastern.
Yeah, we did. And our game plan, of course, is our defense. And I think we did a good job. And like you said, when you look at the numbers, you wouldn't think so. But, on both sides of the court, we would play some good defense, but we also knocked down some really good shots.
And, of course, have to talk about Kiana Jeter. Mello named CAA Player of the Week for the second time this year, averaged 24.5 points, 29 against Hofstra the other night. She's really becoming somebody that you need to come watch. I mean, the whole team is great to watch, anybody, any night, but she really puts on a show every night.
Yeah, she does, and she does it effortlessly. Like it's just, she can do it in her sleep, and, she really has a feel for the game. We love her play.
Q Murray, someone who doesn't get a lot of attention with Nakaya and Kiana doing what they do. 21 points, 5 assists against Hofstra, or against Northeastern, and then 14 points, 7 assists against Hofstra. You told me that when Q came here, you told her, I need a point guard. I need someone to run this offense. And she's doing that with spreading the ball out defensively as well, shutting down the ball. The 3 of them together had a great night, and Q really gets it going, and she sets the tone.
Yeah, she does, and she sets the tone. She's our floor general, and like I said, whatever we need from her, she'll give it to us. If she needs to get the ball to her teammates in different spots, she'll do that. When she sees an opportunity to score and she knows we need her to score, she'll score. Now,
looking more closely at that Hofstra win, you started fast, specifically Jeter. She started very fast.
Yes.
I'd seen teams score off 11 straight points before the other team scores. I'd never seen one player do it and on 100% shooting. 3 threes for her to start the game and a layup. She struggled a little bit from the floor against Northeastern. She got a lot of foul shots against the Huskies, but she showed she shook it off, and she came out firing against Hofstra, and I think that set the tone for your team.
Yeah, it did, and she had a feel for it, and she felt really good, and you can tell when she feels good, she'll make some unbelievable shots, and I think she started the game feeling really, really good. Sometimes we have to get her to shoot the ball, but she started out on fire.
Hofstra closed the gap at one point, picked up a little bit of foul trouble. Q had to sit for a little while, and Ryan Holder had to sit for almost the entire second quarter, I believe.
Yeah.
Talk about Ryan's game. She, we talk about some people getting overlooked. She really gets overlooked. She does so much of the hustle plays, defensive stuff. Mayo with the blocks, Jeter and Q with the steals, but Ryan really does do a good job of shutting the other team's offense down.
She does, and like you said, you don't see it in the stats, but you can, when you watch the game, you'll see them that she shuts down the offense. She'll get in spots where they can't get the ball to their players. She does a lot of things with, defensively. She runs down balls. She's just a presence defensively. That really, really helps us. We love it when she's on the floor.
And then the team struggled when she had to come off. How did you have to account for that? How did you kind of get him back going? You couldn't put Ryan back in. She was in big foul trouble early.
Right.
So how did you account for that? Who did you look to be? You need to be that voice on the defensive end.
Yeah. We put Jalen Holmes in, and Jalen's got length and everything. Not as vocal as Ryan is, but she's really long and uses her length. We went with her. We went with Danny Durjan to try to fill that spot too. But it's tough trying to fill Ryan Holder.
All right. The Tigers 4-0 now in CAA play. That'll do it for us today on the Tiger Basketball Report. Join us next time when we preview the Tigers' trip through the Carolinas. For head coach Diane Richardson, I'm Ben Rosenbaum. Thanks for joining us, and as always, go Tigers.